Hi guys, welcome back to Techno Hacks. It's Parikshit here back again with the new video, and in the continuation of the Linux Essential, this is the third part of the series, and in today's video we are going to see about the finding of files in the Linux system by using the locate and find command. So in today's tutorial we will see how to use the locate and find command to find the particular files in the Linux system. So first we have here is locate. So if you just type here what is locate, so it finds the file by their name, and you can check it out how to use the locate command by using --help option, and you will see there are a lot of other options that you can use it with, and you can just check it out here. So what each options does exactly, you can just check it out from here. So I'll show you here a use of locate command by using few examples. So like suppose here we have couple of files on the desktop like password and test file that we have here. So we'll see how we will find those files by using a locate command. Now suppose here what locate command exactly does is it have a database, locate database, okay, where all the files and their paths are stored. So like suppose whenever you create any new file, like suppose if I want to create here new file, like that should be test7.txt. suppose I create that here on the desktop. I do not have that file currently. Now I will just create it on the desktop. Let's see that I'm at the desktop and now I want to create a test7.txt. Now I have created test7.txt, so you can see that file over here, test7.txt, and now I want to find a file that is test7.txt. so locate test7.txt, and I do not find this file over here. So as locate command uses its database to find files, so first you have to update the DB whenever you create new file or you delete a new file or any file. Alright, so let's do the update DB. Alright, so like this, and now if I want to find the file, so if I say enter, now you can see that it has given me this is the path for this particular file. So it found that particular file on the database, but this got updated. Alright, so this is how it works. Now suppose if I want to find a file that is test.txt, so let's see locate and test.txt, and you can see there are a couple of files that we got here, which is there on the user Parikshit and desktop, and on the root desktop there are a couple of test.txt files are there, and also it has given me the other paths where we have the test.txt file. Now let's say locate and password. So it will give you all the files from the complete Linux system where password is there. So you can see that password.config, password.list, and password and other extensions here. So in this way you can see all the files, but now this is very complicated here because you got all the file with all other extension. Now suppose if you just want to find the txt file for the password and say enter, so it will give you the particular txt file only. Now suppose I want to find all the configuration file from the Linux system, so I would say locate and I want to find all the configuration files, so I would say conf. Okay, so that should be .conf and say enter. So you can see all the .conf file that I have here. The similar way, if we want to find all the files that has a underscore config, so let's say here underscore config, and it will also give you the configuration files. Okay, so like this way you can see here etc ssh underscore config. Now if you suppose directly want to locate the ssh underscore config, so you can just locate that particular file by using ssh underscore config, and you will see that particular file is here, and again and with the same name we have the same file over here. Now if you want to extract the ssh config file from all the configuration files, so what we will do here is we will locate first to the all configuration files. So here we'd say like underscore config, and now I want to grep only the result for ssh underscore config, so we will say here grep ssh, and now when I say enter, so you can see that wherever the ssh is there, only those configuration files we got. Right, so this is how we use a locate command to find any file on any Linux system. Alright, so this is about the locate, and next we have here is a find. So this is a very vast tool in the Linux system. It's a very big tool, where it contains the numbers of options to find a particular file by using different parameters. So if you see what is find, so it says that it search for the files in the directory hierarchy, right? So suppose if you just want to find whatever the files that are there in this root, so you can just say find, and you can see it displayed all the files and all the directory that are there in entire current Linux system. Now if you just want to find a particular files and directory from the, suppose like a desktop, find and root desktop, and it has given all the files and directory that are there inside the desktop. There are also other ways, like if you say like let's move to the desktop first and we'll see. Now here I'll just clear the terminal once and we will see whatever the files that are there. So we'll say find, and it will display the result for all the files. Again we can do is find star, and it will still display the same result over here. Alright, so let's clear, and I will show you whatever the options that you can use with the find. So you could see that there are a couple of options that you can use it with, and you can see their documentation on man page. So let's see man and find, and here we can see the complete man page for the find command. So you can see here, if I scroll down, there are numbers of options: a time, cmin, cnewer, and again if you scroll down here you will see that we can find a file using group id, group name, and with the name and with the particular iname. There are numbers of options that you can use to find a file, like by using a user, by using no user command or the parameter, and by using a permission also you can find files. Okay, so these are the way that you can use here to find a file. So this is the very vast tool in the Linux system which is used to find the file from entire Linux system, and this tool can be also used while scripting. So I cannot go ahead and tell you about all the options here, but I will still try to cover up almost most of the options, most of the important options that we use to find a particular file from a Linux system. So let's quit this, let's clear the terminal. So what we have here is find, so that I have already shown you. It will display all the files and directory. Here if I suppose say find, it will also display me the directories as well. So here you can see that there are two directories where there is no extension. You can see it's a .txt, .lst and a .txt, but here you can see file with spaces, so that's again file. But here you can see that Parikshit is a directory, and here again test2, that's again directory. So now if I don't want the directory to be displayed and just want the files to be displayed, so I would say find -type, and that would be F for the file. So here you can see I can only see the files. Alright, so I do not have the directories listed over here. Similar way, if you just want to find the directories only, you can just specify the option for as a D and say enter. You can see that there are two directories I can see inside a desktop. Alright, so this is how we use the type command. If you say like a find, and if you provide a path over here, so it will find a particular files from that particular path. So if you say like a find -empty, and it should show you all the empty files that are there. Alright, so here there are couple of files, and these files are empty. You can also check it by using a file command, file test7.txt, and you can see that it is empty. So this is how we can verify it. We can also find the files by using these parameters like executable, readable and writable. So it will display all the file, whatever the parameter that you provide. Like suppose if I just want to see whatever the files that are executable, so I would say executable, and it will display all the files that are executable for this particular user. Now suppose if I want to see only readable file, so let's say readable file, and it will display all the files. So next we have again here is you can find the files by using a particular group ID. Okay, so I will show you quickly how you can find up group IDs of particular groups. So you can just check it out, the cat etc and group. So you can see here there are numbers of groups that are there inside this Linux system. Now suppose if you want to see what is the group name for a particular user, like suppose I want to grab the result for user, that is Parikshit, and I would say here, sorry, so cat etc group, and I would say here grep for Parikshit. So you can see that all the result that I have here is this, and you can see the group name and group ID over here. So that is the 1000 is a group ID for the user or the group Parikshit, that is you can see here. And now we will use the GID. So now we will find all the files that are there inside this system by using the group IDs. So let's say find -gid, and we know that the group ID is 1000. So let's execute, and you can see that on the desktop there is a file called test6.txt, and this belongs to group Parikshit. So if you see ls-l, and let's check the files for desktop, so we can see that this belongs to Parikshit user and Parikshit group. So this is the test6.txt, and that's why we have only got this one file in the entire root system. This is the only file that have the ownership of user Parikshit. So this is the way you can use the GID to find, or the group ID to find the particular file. Now again, you can also find it by using the group. So let's say group, and we have to type the group name over here. So you can see the same file appears over here. You can also use the -user option, and you can see the files is popped up over here. So you can use the user group and group ID to find the files by using particular user, okay, like who owns the particular file. So you can also find it like that way. So next we will move, and we have here the -type and f. So this is what I have already shown you. -type and f is for the file. Similar way we have d for the directory. Here next option we have here is min, and that's the number of minutes. So this will display all the files that got modified 25 minutes ago. So let's try that. Like suppose I say find and -min and 25. So you can see there are no files that got modified 25 minutes ago. We'll say 30, or suppose we say like 60, and you can check it out like this way if any files got modified in particular minutes ago. Alright, so next option we have here is -name, and we have to give the name of the file that will search for the file in a current directory, because we have given a dot option here. And by default, if you are executing any command, so it will search into the default directory where you are exactly. So as we are in the root system, it will search all the files from the root. Now let's move to the desktop. Next we have here is -n. So let's see like -n, and we will give the name as test.txt, and it will search the particular file from the desktop. So you can see that there is a file test.txt on the desktop, and there is another option that says -iname, and that is for the case insensitive. So there is no any test.txt with any uppercase. Let's see that. So there is, you can see that there is no any test.txt file with the uppercase. This is the test2.txt, and that's the reason we didn't get this result. Like suppose if I want to check for the test2.txt, and I have given the option as a -i here, and suppose if I remove the -i option here, and if I search for it, I do not get that file. And if I say -iname, so the case insensitive will be applied, and when I say enter, so you can see that now the particular file got searched. So this is the way you can use the -n, -name and -iname for searching the files using the case sensitive or in case sensitive options. So moving further, we now have the ways to find a file by using the permissions. Like suppose let's see what are the files that are there and what are the permissions. Like let's see what are the permissions that are there here on the file. So you can see that we have the read and write permission for the owner of the file for this particular app installed file. And now suppose if I just want to find all the files that are executable, because here we can see that we do not have the execute permission for the owner of the file here, and instead other user can do execute it. Okay, so first of all what we will do here is we will first remove this read, write and execute permission from the other user. So let's do that, chmod, and we want to remove the permission, so other user minus read write execute, and I want it to be removed from root and all the desktop files recursively. So as I want it to be applied to all the files and directory, I should give option -r so that it will perform the recursive option on the entire directory. Let's say enter, and now if I say -l ls-l, and you can see that the other user do not have any permission, and now only the root user have the read and write permission here on this all particular files. So now let's try to find the files by using permission. So I will say find -perm, and what we have to do here is dash, and I want to say all user have execute permission. So I would say X, and I can see that there is no execute permission for the all user. That's why we didn't get any result here. And now when I say for all user read, so we can see all user does not have the read permission. You can see only the user and group have the read permission, and other user do not have the read permission here. If you are not sure how to check the permissions, you can check out my other video which I have already made about the permissions. Okay, so you can please go through that, and then it will be easy for you to understand this tutorial. Alright, so moving further, suppose if I want to see user have a read permission, so you can see user plus read, and so all these files have the read permission here. You can see again there is another way, like instead of providing hyphen option here, you can give a slash and you can search for it, so it will also display the same result. Again, we can see here we have other ways to find permission by using a numeric ways. Suppose if you want to find the file that is readable and writable, so as you know that readable will be 4, writable again next 2, and executable will be +1. So if you want to see only readable file, so you have to give 6, so that will be displayed for particular user only. But now if I just want to see for the particular owner of the file only, so if I say -6, and I would have to provide the option 00 for the group and other user and say enter, so you can see that all these files have the read and write permission for the owner of the file. Alright, so similar way, if I just want to find which files have the readable permission for the group, so I should say 0 for the owner, and for the group what we will add it is 6, so it would be readable and writable. So there is no such a file which have readable and writable. So now suppose if I want to see only readable action for group, so let's say 4, and you can see that only readable permission is there for the group. So if you want to verify it, you can say -l, and you can see that -r option is there for the group only. Again, the similar way you can find a particular files by using operators. Okay, so here you can see, suppose if you want to find only executable file and not readable file, so or only writable file and not readable file, so this option that you can use here, like but not, so this is the operator that you can see here. So let's try that over here. So I want to find a file that is readable by the group. As you can see, it is already given over here, so that is readable by the group, but it is not readable by the owner of the file. So we have to provide the option. So let's say -perm, -permission, and -4 and 00 here. So let's execute it. So there is no such a file which cannot be readable by the owner of the file. So let's try something else. We will first check all the files like this way, and you can see all the files have the read permission for group and the read and write permission for the owner of the file, but here other user do not have any permission. Now what we will do is we will modify the permission for one of the files. So let's do chmod, and I will do it for the test.txt file. So I will provide the execute authorization for test.txt file. So let's try that. For other user, I want to give the execute authorization. So let's see test.txt, and you can now see that execute authorization is granted for the test.txt file. And now I want to search the particular file by using this parameter. So let's see find, and I want to find it by using the permission where other user can execute and not owner. not owner of the file. So we'd say -permission 00 and execute, so that would be number 1. Okay, and owner cannot execute, so but not, so that will be / exclamation and -perm, and as owner cannot execute it, so we say -100, and you can see that we got a test.txt file only, because this is the only file that can be executable by the other user and not by the owner. Alright, so this is the way that you can use the operators. Next we have here is a -size. So by using a particular size also you can try to find any file. So let's move to the desktop and we'll now clear the terminal. So let's try to find a file by using their sizes in an entire Linux system. So let's say find, and I would say size, and I would say 30C. So C is for the byte, say enter, and you can see there is no such a file in the entire Linux system which is having a 30 byte of size. Now let's say for the 40, we still do not have any result, and let's say for the 650. So okay, there is one file that is for the 50 byte. Okay, so you can see that particular path is also popped up over here, and you can find the files in the entire Linux system by using files like this way. And you can also use other options like C is for the byte, so here M is for the megabyte, G is for the gigabyte, alright, and B is for the block size. So this is how in the Linux it works. B is for the block size and not for the byte, and C is used for the byte. So if you say like a B, you can see there are a couple of files with the block size of 50. Okay, so these are the files that got popped up. Alright, so moving further, we have here a couple of options. There is the use of operators here. So what this will do is it will find all the files that is not executable. So this operator, you can see here exclamation, it acts as a not. So you can try that here, like find all the files. So it's a type file and it is not executable. So here executable. So you can see type and -F, so it should be just F and not executable. So you can see all these files are there that is not executable, and like the similar way you can try to find the files that is not readable. Okay, so you can see that there is no file which is not readable. Similar way you can try to find a file that is not writable, and there is no such a file that is not writable. Okay, so this is how we use the operator to find a specific file by using the find command. Alright, so moving further, next we have here is the xarg, which is the regular expression option. By using this regular expression you can add another command over here and you can try to find the files by using this way. So here you can see in this example it will here only try to find all the files, and then as we have given the xargs, so next we have a files and it will then display what is the type of the file. So let's try this here. So let's say type find -type and -type is file xargs, and now I want to use the file command here. So let's say, so you can see that it has given me what exactly the file contains. So you can see that data. Okay, so by this way you can try to find it. Alright guys, so this is the way that you can use find command in Linux, and you can use the numbers of option and parameter to find a file by using a particular parameter that you want. Alright guys, so this is about the find and locate command. I hope you understood this tutorial. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you will not miss the next videos that are going to come. So I will meet you in the next video with some other interesting topic for the Linux Essential. So thanks for watching, have a great day, and bye bye.